country has the potential to do it other than India, because the climatic conditions are blessed. We are blessed with good climatic conditions and we have very good entrepreneurship. And the other point I want to make is that in all this, there's been a recent study by International Energy Association Authority, which says that actually you reduce carbon footprint by greenhouse gas emissions by 20% by sheer behavioral change. And therefore, lifestyle for sustainability will be critical. All of us, each one of us, citizens, will have to play a very critical role in ensuring that we have planet India, as you call it, that we are able to really push for net zero by mid-century. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kant. Absolutely agree with you. I think India is at a very unique position to lead by example and to balance decarbonization and development with economic growth and emissions reductions, and do in a way that can enhance energy security and independence, and allow the country to really sort of demonstrate to the world how we can do that, both at the individual, corporate, national and international level. I'll now turn to you, Leena ji, to tell us a little bit about, as Mr. Khan talked about life and behavioral change, and the work that is happening around conservation and environmental initiatives, using the G20 moment as an opportunity. So how has this opportunity been used to spotlight some of the incredible work that you're doing, and please tell us more about some of those initiatives.
Climate issues, of course, have been intensively discussed and deliberated, but the connectedness of environment and climate challenges is something that we have focused on in our G20 presidency, particularly in the Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group meetings. And what we have been able to highlight during India's G20 presidency is the need to focus on forestry and biodiversity conservation. And in fact, this is one of the very significant achievements. It is for the first time that we have not only been able to discuss ways of, for instance, forest fires. Today, forest fires are something that are impacting countries across the globe. And apart from the loss of biodiversity, the huge amount of emission and release of toxic gases into the atmosphere cannot be overemphasized. So how do we work together to share best practices and knowledge on prevention of forest fires? How do we restore the forest fire impacted areas? And another aspect that we took into and we very successfully came out with an implementation roadmap which we call the GIR, Gandhinagar Implementation Roadmap, and it is one of our presidency documents that talks about how we would be able to work together for reclamation of mining areas. So these two key aspects, which are focusing on restoration of degraded lands and prevention of future degradation, and in turn would help us meet as a globe, as one planet, to meet the targets that we have set for ourselves as global citizens for restoration of degraded lands. So that has been a very important aspect of our presidency and one of the key outcomes of the presidency. I would also like to add that the mission life that was mentioned by the Sherpa, Mr. Khan, that has been something that was discussed at length across the meetings in the Development Working Group as well as in the Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group, because it cannot again be overemphasized that the need to look at our individual choices and behaviors and how they would have a positive or negative impact on the environment and on the climate is something that has been focused on, and there has been very good buy-in and acceptance of countries across the world. And we had some very collaborative events during our presidency, during our meetings. The mega beach cleanup, for instance, which happened not only in India, in all the coastal states of India, but also in all the countries across the globe, the G20 countries. That was an acknowledgement of the initiative for focusing on mission lifestyle for environment. And the green credit program that the government of India is focusing on, where we are talking about pro-planet behaviors, pro-environment behaviors, being actually assigned green credits, being brought onto a trading platform so that there is incentivization and institutionalization of these behaviors, be it doing afforestation, maintaining grasslands, maintaining water bodies, doing the right kind of agricultural practices. All of these would be captured through our green credit program, We've had some very good consultations with the stakeholders, and we are confident that this kind of
because it brings really together the 85% of, you know, 85% of the GDP for all of the economies in the world. And these meetings and these dialogues that are created in the G20 is really one of the key elements of how we can fight climate change in the future, because now the issues of climate change is not just for environmentalists, and it's something that we face, it's something that we see in different places in the world, in my home countries. And you know, these challenges are really linked to our how are we going to live, what kind of world we live in, and also including what types of economic activities that will be available in the future for the people of the world. And